Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name is Dalton. I'm joined here today with Port. Port, how's it
Good.
going, brother?
I was going good.
Interesting week we had, or interesting Saturday night, I should say. Alabama takes on Georgia. We'll talk about that one first. A complete domination by Georgia. Alabama did a lot of things to shoot themselves in the foot. Couldn't move the ball on offense. Whenever you have those two things combined, you're going to lose the game by a lot of points. Port, what did you think about that game, man?
Ty Simpson showed his inability to throw the ball yet again, and Alabama's run game is back to what it was without Jam Miller, and it really just looked bad. It was just hard to watch the whole time. Bama finally scored, and everyone was like, "Oh, here we go, a little bit of hope," and then they realized how Auburn fans feel about 7 or 8 games this season, and it went right back out the window.
Well, I'll say this: Alabama did not look healthy on the field last night. They didn't. You could obviously tell they're missing key pieces, but so is Georgia. That's not an excuse. I think the biggest issue is the fact that since the LSU game, really and truly, every team's been playing man, cover zero, just absolutely coming after Ty, and we just haven't had a choice for it. Our receivers aren't winning one-on-one. Ty Simpson's not getting the ball to the correct places a lot of the time, and our offense is just struggling. And you look at the first drive of the game, we were running the ball pretty well. We got into a 3rd and short, and then we throw or we run the sweep to Latia Brooks around the edge. Don't get it. There's a couple questionable play calls in this game too that really kind of upset you if you're an Alabama fan. I think another thing that's huge for Alabama, the reason that defenses are able to blitz you like they are is because you have no presence down the field. You have no type of deep ball ability. Nobody's scared of Alabama over the top like they were even last year. I mean, because you knew Milroe could sling the ball downfield, and you knew Ryan Williams could probably make a play on the ball. But this year, it's not been that case. There's been no deep ball presence. I think it was 2 for 17, 2 for 15, over passes over 30 yards for Ty Simpson this year. So, and a lot of them have been bad balls too. I mean, there's been some drops, no doubt, but probably I would say over half of those have been just overthrown balls or way underthrown balls. He just seems like he's been off the mark, and that's been an issue. But you can't take away from Georgia. Yeah, in this game, you really can't. They played a heck of a game. This is the best game I feel like they played all year. Not many teams are beating Georgia that night, and it was one of the more physical games I've seen between Alabama and Georgia in a long time.
I don't know. It's just I think a lot of it was Bama just got pushed around in the trenches. It's like everybody says. I mean, it's going to be one or loss down there at the offensive and defensive line. And, I mean, Georgia just showed that they're the stronger, more physical team out of the two, at least that night. Whether to say they're the more strong and physical team in general is a different situation.
I think Alabama missed Cuevas and Jam Miller a lot. And you can say, oh, Jam Miller hasn't been good on the ground this year, but he's been a really big asset as far as pass blocking. And I think that came into the equation whenever you have Daniel Hill, who supposedly in the postgame, press conference, you had Kalen DeBoer saying that Daniel Hill was hurt. So I don't know. We have Tucker in the chat. He said, "Go Dogs, baby." Pork glazing, not gonna lie. Pork is a little bit of a glazer. I can't lie to you.
Hey, man, look, people are gonna hate. All right, it sucks being cursed with all this knowledge. Not that he would understand.
Okay. But either way, a bad game for Alabama. We'll get more into that later whenever we talk about the playoffs. Indiana, Ohio State. Pork, I don't know if you caught this game, but it was really low-scoring game, a little bit lower than what I thought it was going to be. Mendoza played a pretty solid game, saying a little bit off the mark. What did you see in this game? What do you think about Ohio State's defense? What do you think about Indiana in the trenches?
I'm still not sure how good both teams are because neither of them have really played anybody. They've shared the Penn State game, and they both beat Penn State. But, I mean, you look at it with the head-to-head, Ohio State beat Penn State, had the better Penn State win than Indiana did, and then Ohio State drops the game to Indiana in the championship. It's hard to call on how I feel about Indiana. Like, at the end of the day, Mendoza's a good quarterback. Is he some great, amazing quarterback? I'm not sure. This is probably the best defense he's faced all year, and he didn't really come out and blow their socks off or blow them out like everybody wanted them to. Sayin struggled big time, but terrible kicking. That's all I'm going to say. Bad kick.
That's the thing. That's the thing about these conference championships, the big games, right? It becomes extremely hard to kick the football, and you don't want to put it in your kicker's hands. And just like Ryan Day said in his press conference, the reporter asked him how confident he was in the decision. He said, "Well, we missed it. So how confident can you be?" Right? And I think there's just a lot of things in this game that were very stand out. They stood out to me, and that would say Julian Sam being young, that stood out, and how good Indiana was up front on both sides of the ball to be able to compete with Ohio State because Caden Curry. I mean, Ohio State's got dudes up front on both sides of the ball, and Indiana was able to stay just as physical as they were, and that really impressed me. And you got a 5'9" corner out there out wide on Jeremiah Smith, and he's keeping him out of the end zone. Jeremiah Smith still has over 100 yards, but that's to be expected whenever he's probably the best wide receiver in college football.
You got to kind of put an asterisk on his 100 yards too, his 100 plus, because he did get like a 40-yard reception with no time left at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was like 4 people on his shoulders when he caught that ball.
It's crazy.
That dude, he is an issue, and he needs to come play for Auburn. I would love to see him in orange and blue. That'd be great.
It's going to be really interesting to see the dynamic duo next year, Cam Coleman and Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State.
That is not the team he needs to play for.
But no, all seriousness, Indiana really impressed me in this game because I thought Ohio State's defense was going to catch Fernando Mendoza, and I thought that up front, Ohio State was going to be able to run the ball or not maybe all over Indiana, but really be able to establish the run with Bo Jackson, who's a really impressive freshman. I think he has over 1,000 rushing yards on the season. Yeah. I think J.K. Dobbins, and Travion Henderson, J.K. Dobbins, and there's somebody else. The only other freshman in Ohio State running backs to have over 1,000 yards. I don't even think Zeke was on the list.
Really?
But yeah, I can't remember. They showed the stat in the game. I can't remember off the top of my head. But either or, really impressive game for Indiana.
Indiana's run game helped them a good bit. The big thing, though, I feel like that you saw with Indiana is that Mendoza is tough as nails. I mean, play one, Mendoza got like killed.
Oh, God.
I mean, then his brother came in, of all people. Didn't know that he was their backup, by the way. Called me a non-ball knower, not knowing that his brother was the backup. But, I mean, they pulled out another Mendoza just to buy enough time for the Heisman Mendoza to come out.
Yeah. So, we'll talk a little bit more about the Heisman. I really feel like the Heisman's really between Pavia and Mendoza now. And I think, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. But I don't want to get too far into the Heisman talk because we'll get into that on Tuesday tonight's show. But we'll talk about this. BYU, Texas Tech rematch. Texas Tech continues to dominate. I mean, they are just a
murder
clean
game
team on both sides of the ball. Texas Tech is a lot like Indiana. They're really clean on both sides of the ball. They really click really well. And they got the Stash Boys or whatever in the back on the linebacker core. Jacob Rodriguez and the other linebacker. I don't know why I can't.
The other linebacker had 2 picks, and I thought it was Jacob Rodriguez the whole time until he took his helmet off, and I was like, "That is not the same guy I thought it was."
No,
like I just picked up and just kept seeing this one guy with a mustache picking the ball off, and he kept yanking his helmet off. That's not the same dude.
That is probably your best linebacking core in college football.
Yes, I'd agree with that. Honestly,
they flew all around the field Saturday. Texas Tech with a really impressive win. Just out physical BYU. BYU couldn't run the ball like they wanted to. We don't really have to spend too much time on that game. Tulane takes down North Texas. Kind of expected that one. North Texas looks good all season, but Tulane is just a different breed under Summerall.
Sleeper agent Summerall's coming, I'm telling
you. Duke defeated Virginia. Man, if I didn't know this was going to happen, right? Like, just to shake up some things, just to make some things different. Duke takes down Virginia. They got the highest paid quarterback in college football sitting in their backfield, or one of the highest paid quarterbacks in college football. Let me rephrase that.
Duke's quarterback?
The highest. Yeah.
He's an animal, by the way. He is.
He is really good. Really, really good. James Madison beats Troy. Troy actually played close until the third quarter and then just kind of had the game ran away with. We actually were not able to watch that one, but still nonetheless a pretty good game from the Trojans. JMU makes it to the playoffs, which leads us into this conversation right here, the playoff bracket. Look at there. You got Tulane and JMU in this thing at 11 and 12. We'll start from the top left and go down. Oklahoma, Bama. And then you got Indiana, Texas Tech with the buys, Oregon, JMU. And then you have A&M, Miami, Ohio State, and Georgia with the buys, Ole Miss and Tulane. Some really good
Sleeper
first round
game.
games. Really, really good first round games. December 19th at 7 p.m. Central Time. You got Bama at Norman. Going to be a really interesting game. Then on the 20th, next day, that's Saturday, baby, 11 a.m. Miami versus A&M, which is ridiculous. We'll stop here. We'll talk about this for a second, Fort. Why is A&M and Miami at an 11 a.m. kickoff? And why is Tulane and Ole Miss the 2:30? And then why is JMU and Oregon the 6:30?
You want to know why? Because Tulane's going to beat Ole Miss. That's the main reason why they're the 2:30. But I think JMU and Oregon should swap with them. He's gone. He's gone. Are you back? Are you back?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so
technical.
I think A&M and the Oregon game should probably switch because Oregon's going to kill JMU. Let's be honest, okay? And then sleeper agent Summerall at 2:30, and then you have game of the week at 6:30. I mean that'd make the most sense. But
obviously, I know TNT buys this out preseason, whatever. They bought these 2 games out preseason, but you have to have some type of thing in place where you can make the best game the 6:30 game because that's what's gonna. I mean, that's what everybody wants to see. Nobody wants to get up. And think about the people on the West Coast that have to get up at 6 a.m. and they're drinking coffee, watching A&M with Texas or in Miami. Like, why? Make this the night game. Make this the night game. I can't stress that enough. Make it like next year. We got to figure out some way to make it.
How do you feel about that game? How you feel about that game right there? That A&M Miami game.
We'll get into this a little bit more when we show our brackets.
I say this is at A&M though too. That's what everybody's got to keep in mind is that.
Yeah.
All 12
We'll get into that a little bit more when we show our brackets. But I got some interesting stuff for that one. Ohio State, Georgia with the buys. Ole Miss, Tulane coming in at your 2:30 slot. Fort's got Ole Miss getting upset in that game.
Hey,
I don't know.
I thought we weren't talking about this. I thought we weren't talking about it until it's time for the brackets.
Well,
okay,
here it is. It's time to talk about the bracket. This is Port. Yeah, this is Port's bracket first. I'm sorry. I had to look around for a second. Port's got Oregon taken down.
Who'd you think it was?
Pork, I'll let you explain your bracket, man. You go ahead.
All right, Oregon JMU is the obvious here. I'm just going to put that out that Oregon is probably going to dog walk JMU in this game. Not going to be much that James Madison can do. Great for them to make the playoffs, but it kind of sucks with who they got matched up against. And then Alabama at Oklahoma. You have an Alabama team who has struggled to move the ball at all in the past 2 games. When you really say the past 4, they're 2-2 in their last 4, and their 2 wins are was it who did I play?
Eastern
North Dakota
Illinois
State. Eastern Illinois and then Auburn. And then the Auburn game was a 7-point win with a fumble on the 15-yard line to seal it. I just see Oklahoma's defense kind of doing the same thing they did against Alabama the game like the last time they played, except knowing that Jam Miller is probably going to be gone for that. They're really going to try to focus on sending as much pressure as possible at Ty Simpson.
I think Jam's going to be back.
Well, if Jam's back, that could change a little bit of stuff, but I still don't think it changes the outcome. It might change the margin, but not the outcome for me. Tulane, Ole Miss. What can I say? Lane Kiffin's gone. He's not there. You lose your head coach. I mean, you gotta think they're going to play down a little bit, whether or not they play. What am I trying to say here? They play loose and reckless is what I'm really trying to say. They play loose with the ball. They drop the ball a few times. They give Tulane good field position. That's where I can see how this game could get ended for Ole Miss, how their season could end. You lose your coach, and then you give up some key turnovers here. What's up? Okay. All right. And Texas A&M, Miami. I mean, come on. Marcel Reed revenge game. Okay. Drop the game to Texas. Gets knocked out of the SEC championship. I think Marcel Reed's going to come and ball out in front of the home crowd for obvious reasons. Oregon, Texas Tech. That's a 50-50 one for me. I just had to kind of go with my gut there. Even though it is going to be on the road for Oregon, it's going to be a tough win for them to get. It's Texas Tech's inside linebackers is what really sets them off. Great defensive line. Offense is a little shaky at times. Great running backs, but you can see Oregon really focusing on the run game and try to limit stuff over the top. That's really when you see a lot of Texas Tech start scoring their points. Oklahoma, Indiana. Indiana's defense is great. Oklahoma has shown they're not really great at moving the ball since Mateer got hurt. And I don't really see Oklahoma stopping Indiana like they'd be able to stop any other team on this side of the bracket. And Tulane, Georgia. And then you got A&M, Ohio State on the road. Well, no, this is going to be neutral site, right? Cotton Bowl's going to be neutral site?
Yeah, that's been neutral site.
Okay, well, that helps. So then you'll have I'm honest with you, I just really believe in A&M at this point. Julian Saint is young. He's shown flashes of being young, especially Saturday. He showed that he has.
That'll basically be a home game for A&M.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
in
going to
Dallas.
be a home game. They're going to white it out. It's basically just going to be a whiteout game for A&M. But with that being said, even further is the point that that's going to be. You got the home field advantage for Texas A&M. Ohio State does travel well, but they don't travel that well. Oregon, Indiana. You've got Indiana and their high-powered offense defense against Oregon's kind of mid-ladder defense with their mid-ladder offense, but they have been able to string together some pretty decent games. But I'm taking Indiana. Mendoza, I feel like, is going to be pretty hard to stop. Georgia and A&M, I think whoever wins this game, because I feel like it will come down to these two teams right here. Whoever wins this bottom side is going to win the national championship, in my opinion. Georgia offense has been a little bit of a struggle fest. Even last night, you kind of saw that they could struggle and show glimpses of being weak offensively. Their defense is still very physical, but can they keep up with a mobile quarterback like Marcel Reed, who has a decent arm?
Yeah.
And Indiana A&M in Miami. It's I just really like A&M. They're super complete, but this is going to be a battle of who can not turn the ball over. That's all I can see there.
And Texas A&M was the national championship pick.
Yep. I've been preaching it since I hopped on here that A&M's the most complete team in football. I just need them to show it to me.
Nice little bracket there, Port. Nice little bracket there.
You like my Tulane pick?
Yeah. Love your Tulane pick, bro. Love your Tulane pick. We'll get into my bracket now. You got I don't know why I'm look cut off for some reason. You got Oregon over JMU, of course. I got Alabama over Oklahoma. Let me give you my reasoning. I think Alabama's going to be a different team whenever they come into Norman. I think it's really hard to beat the same team twice. And I think the first game, there was a lot of mistakes that you beat yourself in this game. John Mateer has not looked very impressive after his injury. I think he's still battling some stuff with that. Does 2 weeks heal it? Maybe. Who knows? Actually, 3 weeks technically would be for them. That's the thing about teams that miss the SEC championship. But they basically have 3 bye weeks in a row, or the conference championship in general. And that's why you can't hold conference championships against teams. Hence, the Alabama still being in playoffs. Which we didn't talk about. Notre Dame get kicked out. We'll have to talk about that here in a minute and see what you think about that. We should have. Anyways, I think Alabama is able to maybe not move the ball freely in this game, maybe not as well as they even did in the first matchup, but I think there's less mistakes. I think we have to stop rewarding teams with good field position off of our own mistakes. We saw that against Georgia last night. That's what gave them 2 to 3 scores against Alabama last night, was our own mistakes on the football field. We lost. We're losing a lot of games on special teams as well. Special teams for Alabama has not been great this year, and special teams for Oklahoma and Georgia especially looked really well in the 2 games that we played them, or the 2 games that we lost to them. Let me rephrase that. Tulane, Ole Miss. I got Ole Miss. They've already played this game. I think there's this thing called the interim boost, and it's kind of the opposite of what you're saying. I think Pete Golding, I think this Ole Miss team is fired up after losing Lane, and they just go out and get the job done. Texas A&M, Miami at Kyle Field at 11 a.m. Give me A&M just because I think they're the most complete team, and Carson Beck turning the ball over. He hasn't done it in a while, but I think it's about time for him to show his true colors and do it. Last time he was in Texas playing SMU in Dallas, he turned the ball over a lot in that game, lost them the game. He's going back to Texas, maybe not to Dallas, but he's still going to turn the ball over in that game, losing them the game against A&M. Kyle Field's going to be too much for the kid. Oregon, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is probably the most complete team of college football, if not the second under Indiana. They look really, really good. I love the linebacker core. I love the defensive line. The defensive line for Texas Tech has got to be the best in the nation. So give me Tech in that game. Oregon on offense has not impressed. It did not impress me against Indiana, and since then, I don't think they've played anybody that can really give them credit. Alabama, Indiana. This one hurts me, but I just can't be biased. I got Indiana, and the sole reason is because I think they are the more complete team. I think Mendoza has the most experience. He makes a lot of smart plays with the football, even if it's just throwing it away. You see a lot of times where Todd Simpson maybe gets too carried away and doesn't throw the ball away, or does not hit the check down fast enough, or does not even progress through his. Mendoza plays the game clean, and that's why Indiana has been so good. Signetti's a good coach, and he's doing great things with Indiana. That's why I got Indiana over Bama. Ole Miss, Georgia. Give me Georgia. I think this is kind of where your interim boost kind of calms down a little bit. Pete Golden going against Kirby Smart in his second game ever as a head coach. That's a recipe for disaster. Give me Kirby and the Bulldogs. Ohio State, Texas A&M. All right. My reasoning for this one is Ohio State's defense, I think, is going to make a lot of things happen in this game, specifically with Marcel Reed. I think that Caleb Downs, I think this defensive line for Ohio State is going to be a problem. While I do think that this game will be close and down to the wire, Ohio State's fans, like you mentioned, travel very, very well, and it may not be as lopsided in the crowd as what we think it will be. I like Ohio State in this game. I think they're just too good of a football team to count out and not have them advance to at least the semifinals. Tech and Indiana. I got Indiana just because, like I was saying earlier, Baron Morton's a good quarterback. Texas Tech is a really sound football team, but the one that I was saying that may be the most complete team over them is Indiana, especially right now. Up front, Indiana on both sides of the ball look really, really good, especially against Ohio State last night. They really impressed me. I'm going to have to take Indiana in this one. Georgia, Ohio State. This is the kind of the one that was a hard pick for me because I really like Ohio State. I really think they have good football players. But I do think that Kirby Smart going against a young Julian Sayin and a Brian Hartline that's on his way out of Ohio State is a recipe for maybe not disaster, but some turns of like some events in the game to be able to create a deficit for Ohio State. And Jeremiah Smith can't carry you out of everything, right? I like how Georgia's progressed through the season. They're not the same team they were week 4 when they lost to Alabama. You saw that last night or yesterday afternoon. I think this team's improving. I think the offense, as long as the offense can click and the defense can put that offense in positions to have short fields like they did against Alabama, this team is going to be really good and make a deep run. That's why I have them going to the national championship to play Indiana, where I eventually have Signetti taking the Indiana Hoosiers to win a national championship. Signetti said back in 23, he said, why should when asked, why should a football player want to come play for you in the recruiting process? He said, because look me up on Google. Check my record out. I'm a winner. And has he proved that at Indiana so far? Yes. And that hence his extreme raise he's gotten this year and its extension he had whenever the coaching process came out. But, really and truly, a huge pickup for them in the portal whenever you have Mendoza that comes from Cal and is in the Heisman run at the end of the year. I mean, he's really done everything he can to be able to put Indiana in the correct spot. I think the second best portal pickups as far as team-wise this year has been Tech with their defensive line and their overall defense. They have put together a great football team, especially on the defensive side of the ball this year through the portal. But I got Indiana winning the national championship. We'll talk about this because we never talked about it. I don't know why we didn't whenever we were kind of in that segment of the show. We'll go back to this. Notre Dame getting in over Miami. You know what I think it was, Port? I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. All right? No, you don't want to hear it, do you?
No, I do. I want to hear it. I'm interested. I want to hear it now.
No, that's cool. The reason why I think, Miami, or we'll talk about a couple reasons here. I think that we'll start with this. I think the Tuesday night show should not be a thing until after the conference championship. I don't think they should not come on air with it because all they do is put themselves in a position to contradict themselves, and that's what they've done here. That's why so many people are mad. That's what you just can't commit to something weeks out and not have too much thought into it. Mm-hmm. So the committee just somehow last night, whenever BYU gets blown out to Tech again for the second time, they put Miami and Notre Dame side by side. And then magically we start thinking about, oh my goodness, they have a head to head. They've played each other. They have played each other. And then they throw, you know what? Somebody ban her. Or
What
ban
happened?
her. Ban her. Get her out of here.
Yeah, she's banned. Don't worry, I got you. She's out.
Thank
She's
you.
out.
But the main thing is, right, is that the committee just figured out after the conference championship week that, hey, they have a head to head against each other. Let's put Miami in over Notre Dame, which is ridiculous to have done it this late. Do I agree with the decision? Absolutely not. I think it's the right decision. I don't think you can punish Alabama for making. I know I got this sweater on, right? We'll just block this off. But I don't think you can punish Alabama for making it to the SEC championship whenever Oklahoma and Ole Miss are sitting at home and A&M are sitting at home not playing a game, right? I just don't think that's fair to them. And the committee had already said that nobody will get punished. If anything, they will benefit. And let me tell you why they can't do it, right? They can't punish a team because if you punish a team, people are going to start sitting out of conference championship games, which then forces the NCAA into a bad spot money-wise because think about how much money they're making off these conference championship games.
Yeah.
And so they have to keep it to where it's only a benefit and not something that can hurt a team because if not, nobody will want to play in them. Port,
Yep.
what do you think?
I think Notre Dame got left out because they're not a part of a conference. I mean, you can't go back and look at their conference record. You can't be like, oh, well, they had to play against teams like this and that's the reason they didn't have to play a championship game. No, they didn't play a championship game because they're not a part of a conference.
Yeah.
And I think what you'll see this offseason is now that Notre Dame, they probably have the same feeling, I feel like, as we got gypped out of this because we're not in a conference. You'll probably see them jump into the ACC, in my opinion. You'll probably see Notre Dame jump into the ACC and start dominating the ACC.
Well, then the ACC for like basketball, they're in the ACC for just about every other sport.
I don't
but
understand
football.
why they haven't. I mean, they play a ton of ACC opponents. I mean, you go look at all the common opponents. I mean, they have a ton of common opponents with 90% of the ACC guys because they play the ACC.
They played what 80 what 8 ACC
Yeah,
opponents this year?
it was like
6, 7.
Yeah, okay. It was like 7 or 8 opponents. I feel like they played in the ACC.
Yeah, I was trying to look it up, but I can't find it in time. Well, but they played a lot of ACC opponents.
I just don't understand why they would. So I think last week they rectified putting Bama at 10 by swapping the 2, and they set up this right here because they knew there was a chance that BYU would lose, and it would leave up for them to rectify their other mistake of having Miami behind Notre Dame. Because they've slowly just been chipping Notre Dame back one, and finally you get them side by side to a team that they've lost to, given it was before they really had figured out who they were as a football team. It's really hard to call why you would do it, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for them to kind of come out and say, oh, we did it because of this, and this, but you're not a part of a conference. You sat out conference championship week because you don't have a conference championship. You could have went and played UConn for your conference championship, and just that could have been it. But you don't play in a conference championship, so you can't move forward, you can't move backward, but you can move backward because you can't move forward. And teams behind you are bound to win. I mean, Duke won. They beat Virginia, who was a certified lock at the time. They had a foot in the playoff door and got it shut on them. So it's hard to call with what you should have done there, but I do think they did make the right decision. I think Bama at 9, Miami at 10.
Overall, the decision's controversial, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably the right thing. It's just the way the process to get to it was wrong, and that's why it's such a controversy. And if Alabama doesn't lose by 21, it's a lot easier to say. What do you think about this, right? What do you think Kalen DeBoer's decision to go for it on 4th down? What do you think about this? Because in my personal opinion, I don't want to concede any game.
Mm-mm.
Like, I want to march the ball down the field, try to score. Even if we don't score, at least give it our all to try to win the football game.
I think if Kalen DeBoer punts, then Bama's out. Because then he's showing a willingness to not win football games. Like, he's like, oh, well, we've lost. Just get the game over with. Give them the ball so they can kill the clock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, coming from from your point of view, I would be like, if I was a fan, like, and my coach had 4th and 2. What were y'all down? What, 14 or were y'all down 21 at the time?
We're down 14 at the time, and there was
I
4
mean,
minutes left to go
you're
in the
down
game.
2 scores with 7 or 8 minutes left in the game, and I mean, you've got to go for it. I mean, you can't not just sit there and let the other team get the ball back and kill the clock.
Yeah. A lot. I mean, a lot of things in that game for Alabama that just went wrong, and especially in that fourth quarter, whenever you have an opportunity with 7 minutes to go in the game and you get the ball, then you have to go 3 and out or whatever you went. I think it was 3 and out. Get the ball right back to Georgia. Then Georgia gets it. And Georgia gets it. They go back 3 and out. I think Alabama gets it back with 4 minutes left to go, and you don't expect for him to go for it on 4th down to try to go down the field and score, because if he goes down the field and scores and it's 14-21, now the narrative is, oh, Bama only lost by 7 this game, and they played awful.
Yep.
Or now the narrative is Alabama kicks the onside kick and gets it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that could go down if they do get it there, but you have to also take the risk of trying to get it, which I like to see that. Like, obviously, if you're a Bama fan, that's what you want to see. You might not be happy with the result of what happened, but you have to be like okay with that. Your coach is willing to do whatever it takes to win and not just give up. That he still has fight left, down 14, 6 minutes left. Yeah, exactly. I was about to pull that up. I 100%, 110% agree with that.
And if the lack of respect from a fan perspective would have been ridiculous, immense, because I'm personally like, if we make it to the SEC championship, I'm trying to hang that banner. You know what I'm saying?
Hang the banner.
Hang the banner. I'm not trying to play scared because I want to make it to the playoffs. No, I'm trying to beat Georgia. You know, we're 11 and we're 10-1. I want to beat Georgia. Speaking of that, did you know that Kirby Smart is 18-0 when blocking a kick?
Yeah, that was a big thing. And of course, hang the banner has been mentioned. I know. I had to say it. As soon as he brought it up, I had to tell him to hang the banner. Also, I mean, he sat there and was talking to Nick Saban, and he was just like, I mean, I don't know, special teams will probably win the game. It always does. And then I think it was Kirk, and was it Chris Fowler?
Yeah.
That was, or was it Reese Davis that was doing it with him?
I think it was Reese.
And I mean, Reese Davis literally said it. Whichever other one other than Kirk it was, literally brought it up as they were about to like snap it upon it. And he was just like, Kirby Smart said it before the game that the special teams will win the game, and he blocked it immediately on cue. He spoke it up.
It was Chris Fowler, by the way. Sorry.
It was okay. I thought it was. I just couldn't remember. But I mean, it's a rough spot that Bama's in right now. I mean, they're not done. They're not dead in the water. I mean, you can still claw back out of it. You just got some stuff to knock out. I mean, you got another week, 2 weeks of preparation you got here for this Oklahoma team. I mean, you definitely could shake the whole playoff picture up.
If you're Alabama, you're trying to get healthy in these 2 weeks. You got a lot of things that you need to clean up. But more importantly, you got to get your guys healthy, especially up front, because it's obviously showing. Something's going on in that locker room, or maybe not in the locker room, but something's going on to where we're not able to get guys recouped. And I'll tell you what it is. It's playing one of the hardest schedules in the country and not having a bye week in between. Right? You had the bye week and then started the hard schedule. So we're like the out-of-conference scheduling changes, like with the USF switching to whoever it was. I can't even remember. I think it was like Delaware or something in 2029, where people were freaking out about that on Twitter and everything. The reason for that is because you already play such a hard schedule, and they're about to add another SEC game next year. You have to make some type of change like that. Otherwise, your players are going to be dead at the end of the season. And then you have to go in and play a conference championship game with no rest, no bye week, no nothing in between.
Yep.
And you get blown out. Well, it's to be expected whenever you got 10 guys or 7 guys that are on the injured reserve or injured list, and then or out of the game list. And you have several guys that are playing that DeBoer said in his press conference should probably be on that same list with them, but are just toughening it out.
You got Brailsford, and then you obviously want Justin Jefferson to get back healthy. They're not really sure what the status is on his. I haven't really looked into it.
Yeah.
You want Jam Miller back. I mean,
Cuevas,
if you can get him. Good God, if you can get Cuevas back, that'd be the biggest help. Because, I mean, you saw some nasty drops from Bama wide receivers. Jerm in the end zone, hit him right, and just mistimed it, hit him in the chest, bounced to the ground.
Ryan Williams on the jump ball. I mean,
That-
his hands were this far
Dude.
apart.
Oh my God. And somebody brought it up and was like, Ryan Williams has never really shown that he's got elite hands. He's a body catcher. And he always has been. He's always, I don't know if you ever noticed, but he kind of like squishes down to the ball. He doesn't ever try to reach out with his hands and grab it.
But I will say this: every time Ron Williams got the ball in his hands in that game, he made a play.
Move. He made a big
And
move.
Alabama's got to do better about getting their receivers the ball in open space. If it's just a quick screen, if it's a bubble, if it's whatever it is, use the RPO to be able to get these receivers in space because Ron Williams is one of the shiftiest players in college football, if not the shiftiest.
He's twitchy and he's quick too. That's the hardest thing about it.
He's ridiculous.
So fast.
And stop making it hard for the kid to get the ball. Just get it to the kid on the outside. Like you see, like what Ryan Wingo does at Texas, what Sarkisian does with him. You saw what they did with Zachariah Branch last night. There's no reason why Ryan Williams can't be that for us. You know what I'm saying?
Zachariah Branch is the only person I know that could get 115 yards catching the ball in the backfield consistently.
Yeah. And Ryan Williams is arguably just as fast, if not faster than he is.
I think I've been saying this a good bit. I haven't said it on here. But I think it's a scheme issue. Not that he has a bad scheme, but that he just hasn't players that fit his scheme currently. I'm not really sure if Ryan Williams as a part of that doesn't fit or if he's just not utilizing him correctly. I think Ryan Williams is more of a screen, make somebody miss receiver or a 5 and in. He's a 5 and in guy. Who's a yard after catch monster is the way he's like. Don't compare him to Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill's a deep ball guy, but there you go. I was about to say, I mean, you want a guy that can catch the ball underneath, and I feel like would be the most hard to tackle guy underneath, but he is small. That's the only thing that hurts him is that he's small.
Yeah. I could probably go back and watch the games and count on one hand how many times Ron Williams has received the ball inside 5 yards. And college football has evolved to the point where it's not about getting the guys the ball down 10, 15 yards downfield. You get the ball to the guys that can make plays and have a blocker or two in front of them at the line of scrimmage and threaten the defense with a threat of run, and you'll be able to win football games, right? Especially whenever your run game's not good. Like, everybody knows that nobody's scared of Todd Simpson pulling the football because you haven't done it but maybe twice this year. So nobody really cares that Todd Simpson's going to run out to the flat. And, I mean, whenever you do get the set that we will do the play action and what he rolls on the pocket and dumps into the flats, it's been the same play every time they've ran it. They put the tight end in motion, and then he just broke out into the flat. He's acting like he's blocked. He's blocked and released. Todd Simpson rolls out, and then he's boxed. They got boxed 3 times in that game. And it's the exact same play call. Play calling for Alabama. Ryan Grubb has been underwhelming, I want to say, especially in the second half of the season.
It's been kind of trash. You could say it's been kind of trash. I would agree with that. It's kind of trash. I've been saying this a lot. Not that he's scared and like running from people, but it's definitely in the back of his mind that if he gets hit like that again, he's going to start having some long-lasting effects. Like later on, is what he's worried about. I think.
And I'll say this: I think the same thing was for Jam Miller until the Auburn game. The Auburn game, he ran hard, but before that, he wasn't running hard. And I felt like
he was full CTE mode against Auburn. I'm just going to put that out.
He
didn't care.
He was playing hard, but Alabama's offense has not been the same since Missouri. I mean, am I right or am I wrong or what?
I mean, no, I agree with that. I mean, they scrape away the Missouri win. Missouri's driving down the field, throws a pick to end the game. And then after that, I mean, who'd they play after Missouri? South Carolina?
Yeah, it was Missouri, South Carolina, not bye week, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, or LSU, Eastern Illinois, something like that. Anyways,
LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, Auburn, Georgia. That's how it folded out because they're 2 for their last 4. They're 2 for 2 in their last 4.
Yeah,
because Oklahoma was right before the cupcakes.
I'll say this, dude. Ryan Williams' playbook has some of the coolest trick plays you've seen in college football. Like, we're gonna talk about that tunnel screen yesterday that they ran to Jeremy where he threw it to the flat to. But it's like his trick plays that we use from time to time are like really high risk and really low reward. Like these trick plays that we're running that are really, really off scheme are only getting 10 yards whenever we're running them.
Like the double pass against Auburn.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we're running these trick plays that are like ridiculous. They're awesome to watch, and when they work, they're awesome. But
when they
only
don't
go
work,
for like 10 yards. Have we taken a trick play to the house this year?
I don't think so.
And it's a matter of time before it bites us. And I think special teams is a big problem for Alabama if we want to get off the offensive topic, because I know we're kind of slamming the offense, but they have been bad.
Well, I mean, honestly, you look at it, I mean, the offense has been the issue all year. The defense has not struggled at all. I mean, the reason when they do start getting points and yards piled up is because they're not getting off the field. I mean, you can't get them off the field. They get off in 3, and then they just keep piling on. They're back on in 3 plays, back on in 3 plays, back on. You said it's just the offense doesn't move the ball. The defense has to find a way to recuperate, and they can't.
You know, one thing that's really surprised me, and the reason it surprised me is because I thought we had the receivers to win one-on-one more than we do, is how boxed we are when a team plays man coverage. Because, okay, let's go back to the first game against Georgia. They had a young secondary that they stayed in zone majority of the first half, and we absolutely destroyed them. When Ty Simpson plays against a zone football team, we will slaughter them.
Mm-hmm.
But people have picked up on that. Missouri picked up on that. LSU picked up on that. Oklahoma picked up on that. Auburn, Georgia the second time. There's a problem with our man beating scheme that we're not able to beat man. We had the receivers to do it, and I don't understand why. We haven't won a jump ball down the field just about all year, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Horton's supposed to be your jump ball threat. He hasn't won a jump ball just about all year, except for maybe one. Ryan Williams can't win a one-on-one to save his life.
Ryan Williams has to catch the ball with his hands to win a jump ball. You can't throw a jump ball into his body.
And I want to say the most targeted receiver we had last night was Lottie Brooks, and why he's going to be a superstar. The kid is small.
No, he's good.
The kid is small.
Tiny.
Yeah, and he's a freshman. Get the ball to some of these guys that have played college football that are a little bit bigger, like Isaiah Horton. He has 3 touchdowns. He had a hat trick against Auburn. He didn't get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know why.
You think a lot of Ty's problems aren't coming from the fact that he's not accurate with it, but he's getting beat up because they're running these mid to deep plays?
I think a lot of Ty's problem is he's kind of scared of shadows now. I think he's gotten hit a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me respond to this real quick. Ty Simpson can't slice his own defense in any type of way. I agree with that. In the second half of the year, he has not been able to, but in the first half of the year, he was really good against zone defense. Really, he threw into a lot of cover 2 windows that most quarterbacks could not hit.
Week 2 to Missouri, he was hitting a lot of good throws, and then post Missouri, I mean, you can blame a lot of it on him, but I mean, you got to look at it. You got Ryan Williams coming in, was supposed to be like the best receiver in football. He can't catch a ball now.
Like talk about this, the interception, right? The interception last night where he threw behind Isaiah Horton and the because that was a gap. He hit that. Hit that. But he hit it late, and that's his problem. He's really playing off time. He's off time. He's been off time since the Missouri game. It's been an issue. Drop passes is another thing that happened last night. Clavis, I feel like, is probably our biggest.
Dude, if he comes back, I mean, that would be huge for Bama because of what he provides, not just in the passing game, obviously, but if he has to come out and chip somebody, he can do it. He's very versatile and able to play both ways.
He's a really good utility guy. I feel
he is.
But Ty Simpson's problem, I feel like, is a lot of it is timing because Rona said he's lost it. And I agree. I should have gave more clarification when I was saying he could hit zone. I was meaning he could hit it at the beginning of the year. He hasn't been able to so far. But what do we have to do to get that confidence back in Ty to where he starts hitting those windows again? I don't know. And I think teams have figured out a way to play him for it. Like, you see where teams are waiting to adjust and audible out of what their initial play call is until late into the clock.
You see a lot of checking off on defenses here recently. I don't know if you've seen it. You saw it a lot in the Iron Bowl. Auburn would come up, and I agree with what Ronan said. I think a lot of it is because he's getting hit so much. He's worried about getting hit, and he's starting to pile on. I mean, this late in the season, you're starting to feel everything.
Watch him play in the pocket. Watch how many times he drifts to his left.
He's used to getting killed off his right. That's why he's used to getting killed off his right. And that's why a lot of times you'll see like Oklahoma, how they sent that offsetting blitz where they blitzed corners or DB and just nobody picked him up. He got killed. And he got the fumble forced off of it. But no, like I was saying, against Auburn, you saw the defense checking off a lot against Ty Simpson. Because, I mean, obviously you wait till 10 seconds left in the play clock and Ty Simpson doesn't like the way it looks. Well, then that gives a chance for the defense to adjust and see what they're seeing. But I think the thing that Ty Simpson is he's not picking up the blitz well, like picking up where to go when he sees pressure, and he doesn't have the legs to help him get out of pressure.
Mhm.
It's just it doesn't really help him much with him not being as two-way, I guess, as like a dual threat kind of guy.
Mhm. Well, and that's another thing we can address. Ty Simpson's threat of being a dual threat quarterback has not really been there like we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the season. I thought Ty Simpson was going to be a 500, 600-yard rusher at the beginning of the season. He just,
Mhm.
quite frankly, has not been that. The usage of his legs has been really underwhelming from an offensive play calling standpoint. I think there's been they have not ran enough zone read with Ty Simpson this year to make his legs a threat in later games. Like, I'm not saying that they should have. I'm not saying that's the key to success. I'm not saying that by any means. But I'm saying teams do not respect Ty Simpson's ability to run the football. You saw last night whenever Ty Simpson tried to run and catch the edge coming out of the backfield, and he just got absolutely hawked down by the linebacker that came across. I mean, the kid's fast, but
He's not the level of fast he needs to be doing that.
yeah,
He's just not.
especially what I thought he was going to be.
Mhm.
And I also don't think we've done anything to help him be a threat with his legs.
No, because you have to have a running back to help the quarterback, and I don't think that Bama lacks. I don't think Bama lacks running back talent. They just lack running back utility. They're
Yeah.
not using the running backs how they need to be used. Like AK Deer, like he is a downhill threat from like I've never seen. Like he just when he gets moving, he doesn't stop moving. But instead of coming out in like a single back with a pistol, they're coming out in gun and they're doing like inside zones or outside zones with it. Instead of just like playing power football and letting AK Deer try to run the ball downhill.
I thought Daniel Hill was the best back in our backfield since probably week 6 or 7 because he my fault, that was not intentional.
Don't
Because the kid is 244 pounds. Maybe he's not good at pass blocking, but it's hard to tackle somebody that over and over and over and over again. I know that's mentioned just about every podcast, just about every football game you watch that has Alabama and Daniel Hill in it. But it is just quite frankly the truth. That's a big kid to tackle over and over and over again. And with some time, he's going to be a really good back. But I don't know.
I think a lot of it is like you can teach pass blocking, you can't teach size and speed. That's something that you're born with that you can't really learn. You can teach somebody how to chip a linebacker like on a delayed blitz. You can teach somebody how to do that. You can't teach them how to run a 4.4 and be 220 pounds and be one of the hardest guys to tackle on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think AK Deer is going to be a really great running back when he finally gets set into either this system and they start utilizing him more, or he finds a new system somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know if AK Deer will really go. I mean, he's gonna be the 2 back next year. I feel like kid's been. I mean, he's what he said. Xavier Crowell is coming in too, but we don't have to talk too much about the future. Playoff bound for Alabama last year after the game. I can't tell you if I was too confident in what the committee was gonna do, but I think they said that they were gonna not hold conference games against teams, and they held their. I mean, they kept their word on that side of things. Do I feel bad for Notre Dame fans? Slightly. Do I think JMU and Tulane should be in the playoffs? There's got to be some different
one
type
of
of
the two.
criteria.
I think one of the two should have. And I could have swore they were talking about the ACC champion has to be in there as well. So I'm surprised they didn't try to slide Duke in at number 12 or 11.
No more auto bid. They took that away last year.
I don't know. I like the auto bid because you have to have somebody from the conference, but they don't get an auto buy is what I would agree with.
I don't know if your conference sucks that bad, they probably should. Yeah, I think it should be legitimately the 12 best teams in college football. Nothing sugarcoated. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like if you, I know it's hard to say this, but if you want to be in the playoffs, schedule harder teams.
Yeah, or
reward
move to a different
schedule.
conference. Move to a harder conference.
Yeah, reward strength of schedule, I think, is what it comes down to.
Can I get a little Auburn fan delusion in here, please? Just real quick.
Yeah.
So you got 2 teams that have opted out of bowl games so far this year.
Auburn
Notre
opted
Dame.
out.
Who did?
Auburn opted out.
Don't start with me. Notre Dame and Kansas State have both already opted out of their bowl game, saying they're not going to play one. Does that give a chance to a 5-7 team to come in and get a bowl game? Could you see a Florida State or an Auburn come in and try to play a bowl game this year if they're able to get it?
Yeah, I mean they opted out. No, I'm being serious. I'm not joking with you. Auburn opted out of their bowl game.
When was that?
Auburn opts out of bowl game. Let's see. AL.com. Let me read you the article. Auburn football declines bowl bid. Auburn football will not extend its season after hiring head coach Alex Golesh.
Oh.
The Tigers are one of 5-7 teams that declined a bowl bid, according to On3's Brent McMurphy. So no.
Well, I understand that.
Like
New coach, you don't want to kind of feed him to the wolves there.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't throw him
because Auburn would definitely roll Michigan or something like that, and that'd be a terrible first game to play.
I think Michigan and Texas actually play. That's gonna be a good football game.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game.
Absolutely not. JMU and Tulane cannot compete. I agree with that. I just don't understand how. Like, why do you put JMU in Eugene, Oregon at 6:30 at night and expect this to be a close playoff game?
I almost knocked them off, given Iowa was at home and ranked.
But I'm talking all this trash, but watch JMU go out there and beat Oregon.
No, watch Tulane go out and beat Ole Miss and Oxford. That's what you need to look out for, buddy. 2:30, Oxford, Mississippi.
That interim boost, bro. Pete Golden interim boost. It's going to hit hard.
It's a different kind of interim boost. This coach didn't get fired. This coach said that this team's not good enough and went to a different team.
Yeah,
practice.
It literally, they could play probably second string and win that game. That's the incredible. And the same thing with Ole Miss playing against Tulane. They've already Tulane. They've already beat them by 30 one time this season. Like,
do you want me to tell you who is coaching again? You mean to say his name one more time?
Lane Kiffin.
No, sleeper agent Summerall. That is who they have to worry about. Yeah. He's going to activate the sleeper agent this weekend, and it is going to be Belt.
Oh no, man! I just don't think there's room for those two. Because tell me how much, like, it would have been way more fun. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna give a couple teams. I know they're not all like first.
You could have had Notre Dame and BYU in there, but instead you have JMU and Tulane.
Hell, Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, Vanderbilt, any of those would have been fun to watch.
Now, after this year, now that all these big Power 5 schools, Vanderbilt got robbed. Vanderbilt would have sat at number 11 or number 12, and I will stand on that. And Texas would have been at number 11.
Vanderbilt's hot right now. If they had a chance in the playoffs, they probably could have made some.
Diego Pavia is going to be back next year. He's going to find a way. I'm not really sure how he's going to do it, but he's going to do it. I'm sure POTUS is going to get involved. He took the headset off on me. Did you hear me?
Dude, my middle piece keeps breaking out of it.
Yeah, I gave up on mine about 4.5 years ago. But no, I think Vanderbilt, they'll be fine. They're not going to have to change quarterbacks next year. POTUS is getting involved. He's going to get that fixed for Diego. But no, in all seriousness, Vanderbilt is going to be a very tough program to beat. You're going to find out next year what their identity is without Diego Pavia, which I think is going to be the big thing, is who they are without the guy that has turned Vanderbilt into what they are now, which you can say that also with the help of Clark Lee. Texas, Arch. I mean, Arch is starting to show that he's really starting to fill into the shoes. You know what I mean? He's just starting to fill into the shoes that everybody put in front of him.
And Texas' defense is as good as anything in the country.
Who's their linebacker that he's actually an inside linebacker and he leads their team in sacks. He got 9 or 10 sacks on the season or something like that. I can't remember his name, dude. He's disgusting.
Colin Simmons is a really good football player. I know that off the edge. Notre Dame over fully agreed on Vandy or Texas or Notre Dame all over JMU and Tulane. Yes, I think BYU, if they would have played more ranked teams this year, they wouldn't be anywhere near the top 15.
Yeah.
Bachmeier is a good quarterback, but he's a freshman.
He also got injured. He also limped on that knee for 3 quarters of football.
LJ Cryer is a really good football player. I don't know if you noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
But really and truly, I think Pavia could have done some damage in the playoffs.
Dude, Pavia would have busted some brackets, man. I'm just going to tell you, he'd have busted some absolute brackets. Can I ask you a question real quick? Did you watch much of the Duke game, Duke, Virginia?
No, I didn't.
I watched the final 2 plays. I watched Duke score the touchdown and then kick the field goal. And then the first play for Virginia, they got I think it was unsportsmanlike conduct, and it pushed them back 15 yards, put them on the 35 or something like that. First play, the pick. It just immediately threw a pick to start it. And I was freaking out up here. It was insane.
Yeah, I watched the Indiana Ohio State game, and I was worn out for the day. I can't lie to you. Kurt Signetti,
dude, great.
What a hell of a job.
What a hell of a job. Monster coaching, man.
Yeah, hats off to him. He's gonna be really good for years to come, I feel like. And Indiana, they got to hold on to him as much as they can.
He's not going to leave. I think he's bought in. I think Indiana's bought in on him. So I think they're 100% in on each other on that one.
No doubt. Auburn basketball last night had a rough one against Arizona. What do you think about that, Port?
So I think Kurt Signetti's a really good coach. And what are you laughing for? Dude, Auburn's got to go play Purdue as well next Saturday. Given Purdue apparently got killed.
Yeah.
Oh, it sucks being an Auburn fan right now. At least we have Equestrian.
Equestrian.
Horse school.
Horse.
Oh, what? Why is there a thumbs up on my face? Pause.
Dang. What are we doing? That's crazy. But either way, fun week of football. Yeah, Auburn basketball is still trying to find their. Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do. There's a lot of transfers on that team, and they're all trying to figure out how to play with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Pearl, while he's not new to the program, he's new to being a head coach. He's actually doing really well for a young head coach. Auburn's gonna be good. Auburn's gonna be fine by the time that the SEC play probably comes around. They'll be ready to go, and that's the good thing about scheduling hard games. Like early in the season, is because you really figure out who you are, and you either become really battle tested or you get absolutely beat down. But with Auburn, they have enough talent to where I don't think they're going to get absolutely beat down. Same thing with Alabama. You drop a couple games early in the season, you're fine. You're still going to make the tournament. Just play good.
We good? We good? Keep going. I got to make sure the PC does not die. Or the MacBook does not die. But I just looked up and it said 1%.
Ooh. I think Auburn basketball is going to be fun. I think they just got to figure out who they are. And keeping all the transfers together, keeping the guys locked in, like Roland's saying. Steven's doing great. Just got to keep the guys locked in. I completely agree. Just got to keep them together as a family and playing together. And they'll learn to eventually play off of each other, and that team will get hot and probably make a run. Michigan looks really good. Alabama defeats UTSA 97-55 today. With Jalil Bethea, he's kind of the story for the Tide, man. He comes back off his injury.
My dog.
5-star Miami transfer. He goes for 21 with 22 minutes tonight. Had a heck of a game. He's been really good on the boards for Alabama too. Really big pickup for Alabama to have come back. Alabama's looking good. It's kind of the same spot as Auburn though. Kind of learning how to play together. Liberian Philon, favorite for SEC Player of the Year right now. One of the better scorers in the country.
Unit, by the way.
No doubt. No doubt. And Alabama, you said that Auburn has Purdue up next Saturday.
Yep.
And Alabama gets to take on that same Arizona team that y'all had to on the 13th. So what is that, Wednesday?
Auburn kept it close for a little while, and then it's just like it just got to like flipped. It got flipped on our heads.
Yeah. I don't know why. So I just said, is that Wednesday? Knowing it was Saturday. So yeah, Alabama takes on Arizona. I want to say this is it's in Birmingham at the BGACC. So that'll be a good game for Alabama. See who they are.
So I was hoping Auburn was going to be playing football here in a few weeks. Birmingham.
I really thought Auburn was going to get that spot for what, the Camellia Bowl or whatever it is. I actually think Troy and Jack State is playing in that game. That's going to be pretty cool. Yeah. It's going to be a pretty cool little game.
I want to see Auburn come play at Crampton Bowl. That's where I want to go to. I mean, it'd be cool. Why are you looking at me crazy?
Hasn't Crampton Bowl done like some renovations?
I think so. I haven't been downtown in a long time, like around the stadium at least.
Yeah. But nonetheless, Arizona versus Alabama. Arizona 66% chance to win that game. Gonna be an interesting one. They just beat Auburn 97-68, but
we don't have to say the score. We didn't have to do that.
My fault.
Really? That's what we're doing.
A lot of basketball left to play for anybody, no matter how bad they lose. Michigan probably still one of the scariest teams in the country. Purdue takes a pretty good butt whooping. Yeah, Troy and Jack State will be a packed house. That's gonna be a crazy game to have in Montgomery.
Yeah,
and kind of in the middle of both of them. That's gonna be sick.
Dude, yeah. I may or not be at that game. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
it'd be fun to go watch.
Definitely.
Go see Goose. Go see Goose Crowder and Scott Taylor Renfro go at it the whole time.
Yeah, and Riley Green may be there, former Jack State player. But
Really?
yeah. Anyways,
Well, hey,
this
before we leave, I just want to put this on the screen one last time. This is what greatness looks like, people. And I'm just going to stick with that. That's all I want to say. I just wanted to let you know that's what greatness looks like.
so if you want to lose money, play that bracket. If you want to win, play this one right here.
The only
This
thing
was
I would
not taken
change about this is just put Tulane winning and then A&M beating Ohio State, and it's almost flawless other than Bama getting a win. Come on now, let's be real. All right, well.
Really? Okay. Well, this has been the RD podcast. My name's Dalton. Got Pork on the other side. Pork, appreciate you coming through again. Seems like RJ's given up. You know, as soon as Auburn lost more than 3 games, RJ was done with the podcast. So instead of the R&D podcast, we're going to change this to the RP podcast. No. Wait. We're going to the PD podcast, something like that.
The P. Diddy podcast?
All right.
Really?